going on with the Epstein and these Jews? What is happening here?
Yeah, you know Epstein's innocent, bro.
That's the funniest development.
When you hear a cartel, the horrible things they do, and you hear about they do magic rituals to hide their smuggling, or when you hear about Liberia and General butt naked eating baby hearts in front of the parents, think your white leaders don't do all that?
These people are evil. They're as young as 14, and they're probably younger. They're them, they're destroying their lives, and they're killing some of them. So
Like Trump dog.
Yeah.
It's tough not to point some fingers.
He
got killed while you were president. So many photos of them chilling.
Thankfully, our government is protecting all these people. That's the best thing.
And they killed Epstein just...
Bro, I can't get a pothole filled in New Orleans, but you can fill a 9-year-old out in the middle of an ocean. This whole fucking government, dude.
Crazy.
It's official. This administration has just destroyed the last bit of hope we had for transparency. Trump isn't releasing the Epstein files. It's obviously bigger than him, and it feels like he's controlled by the same people who've been pulling the strings since at least the end of World War II. Like the comedians in this video, I was also duped into having hope. For years, I believed maybe Trump would actually drain the swamp, but now seeing him bury the Epstein files, it's just another broken promise. You can feel it in the comedy world too. They'll joke about it, but underneath you can sense the frustration. Tim Dillon's reaction definitely hits the hardest.
what's going on with the Epstein and these Jews? What is happening here? Everyone keeps saying this is a Mossad op, and we're covering it up to protect Israel. This is what everyone keeps saying. People are saying it's Mossad and CIA and that they're shutting it down, or the people in the White House are implicated.
A lot of people think it's Mossad, and honestly, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that it implicates the most powerful people on Earth. But at the core of it, it's not just some spy agency thing. It's a club, and the tie that binds is blackmail. It's how it works. If you don't have anything on you, if there's nothing they can hold over your head, then you don't get to play the game. The odds that we ever had an honest, legitimately good person in the White House is slim to none.
I'm giving advice to people now that live in this country. Choose the pedophile you agree with. Choose the pedophile whose values are yours. Who is the pedophile who has a pro-business attitude? Is there a pedophile who cares about the climate? Who wants better schools? Probably all of them. What pedophile has the viewpoint that you align with? What pedophile believes in infrastructure? Who is the pedophile that's going to keep us out of costly foreign wars? Who is the pedophile who's going to make sure your children have a shot at the American dream? You cannot ask that they don't have kids. You cannot ask that. It's a bridge too far.
Remember when Trump said this?
I never knew it would be this vile, that it would be this bad, that it would be this vicious. Nevertheless, I take all of these slings and arrows gladly for you.
All of the propaganda I bought into at the time, it actually makes sense now. Back then, I really thought he meant us. But looking at it now, it's clear he wasn't talking to us. He was talking to them, the people holding the real power. A signal letting them know, don't worry, I'll play my part. I'll take the heat, the headlines, the lawsuits, but I'm actually not going to burn the house down. And the thing is, we all know it's a lie, but it doesn't even matter anymore. Because he got what he needed. He got his second term, the big beautiful bill passed, and now he doesn't need our support. Doesn't even care enough to come up with a decent lie anymore.
There are no more secrets. We all know everything. There's no one who doesn't know what this is. Not one person who doesn't know what it is. It's a honey, what is it, a honey trap or a honey pot? It's a honey pot. The children are the honey.
I've always questioned everything, but lately I catch myself questioning things on a micro level, even the words they use. Like how they call it human trafficking. That almost feels like marketing language now, because trafficking is a softer version of what we should call them. Slavers. It's 2025 and we still have slavers. Meanwhile, there are still people out there walking around thinking the President of the United States is the most powerful person on Earth. And honestly, up until this latest garbage fire of a cover-up, I would have been inclined to think the same. But now it's obvious. Once it gets to a certain level, the President has to fall in line.
Wait, why are the most powerful people in the world not putting out the kids? Huh. When we say the most powerful people in the world, we're not talking about, like, The Rock. Do you know what I mean? Like, and maybe The Rock's someone. I'm not saying he is. I'm kidding. I don't know. I'm not. When I say the most powerful people in the world, I'm talking about genuinely genuinely the most powerful people, rulers of countries, heads of state, billionaire industrialists, kings, princes, prime ministers, presidents, not podcasters, not comedians, not influencers, not Tucker, genuinely the most powerful people that run companies that suck oil out of the ground, that put minerals, that take rare earth minerals and put them in your phone, people that order troops into battle, people that start wars, people that assassinate political leaders, people that foment coups, the most powerful people in the world. And I know we're all yelling at them this week. We're all giving it to them. Hey, maybe Dan Bongino will resign. What do you think about that? They don't care. They don't know who it is.
To me, Bongino is the perfect example of be careful what you wish for. I doubt he ever sat there specifically wishing to be deputy director of the FBI. But let's be honest, getting offered a position like that is a dream come true for a guy like him. But watching him lately, it looks more like a nightmare. Because from the outside, it feels like he finally got to that spot. But then, just like Trump, he has to fall in line. You can see it on his face. He went from a guy fighting for truth.
There are a lot of people who are knee deep in the Washington swamp who are not telling you the truth about serious allegations out there that Epstein may have had video and audio of people out there doing things they shouldn't have been doing. And you should be asking yourself the question, how is it that all these people, the CIA director, the Obama fixer, Bill Clinton, all intersected paths with Jeffrey Epstein? Jeffrey Epstein isn't with us anymore, and nobody seems to want to talk about it.
Now he just looks sick, like he's being forced to do PR for the same people he once tried to expose.
Himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file.
Apparently, he skipped work Friday after we were officially told Epstein had no client list. And now the word is he even threatened to resign if Pam Bondi isn't removed from her position as Attorney General. Which on the surface sounds dramatic, but when you really step back, it feels like the same old play. Throw anyone under the bus except Trump.
These people are evil. It's not, oh, I thought she was 18. These people are evil. They're importing women from other countries and our country. They're as young as 14, and they're probably younger. They're destroying their lives, and they're killing some of them. Some of these women are disappearing.
If you've been listening to Matt and Shane since their early days, then you know they got duped into thinking Trump was saving the world too. But like a lot of us, like anybody who held on to that last little shred of hope that maybe Trump wasn't compromised, they lost what was left of it when the administration announced there was no list.
Yeah, you know Epstein's innocent.
Bro. That's the funniest development. Like, we are going to unveil the truth once and for all. Turns out the guy was just a fucking guy,
regular guy,
struggling in the world just like all of us. Yeah, that was some bullshit, bro. Also, innocent of what? He was literally a guilty. He was busted, and they sealed the records the first time.
To me, these are the most logical reasons why the files are being covered up. 1, Trump is on the list. Or 2, whoever Epstein answered to, Trump has to answer to them too. They've got the same boss. And whoever that is, they're powerful enough that even after Epstein was arrested back in 2006, he felt protected enough to keep doing it. Alex Acosta, the U.S. attorney in Miami at the time, literally said he was told to leave it alone, that Epstein was intelligence. If Trump doesn't answer to the same people as Epstein, then I could see why people would think he's on the list.
Like, Trump dog,
yeah,
it's tough not to point some fingers.
Huge question.
He got killed while you were president.
Yeah.
And you were there. There's so many photos of them chilling.
Allegedly hung with his staff.
I know.
Allegedly hung with his staff.
The cope on Trump's innocent. The cope is pretty intense. Yeah, he did go to the island, and he just hung out with the staff, dude. The staff said that. Was the staff 12?
The community that believed Trump was out here saving the world from cannibal perverts, people like me, sadly, the cope was insane. Hope is powerful, and Trump's marketing people knew exactly how to use it. They sold us something we could all get behind, ridding the world of evil. And when stuff started coming out, like Trump being on the flight logs, people found ways to explain it. Oh, he just hitched a ride once. Or when someone brought up that he used to hang out with Epstein, it was like, yeah, but he knew what was going on. He wasn't really a part of it, so he just hung out with the staff.
See him, somebody brought it up at a meeting, and Trump was like, are you guys still talking about Epstein? It's like, that's crazy. There's so much other stuff going on. I can't believe you're bringing up Epstein. Are you serious? God, get a life. You guys are obsessed with What the? No one even cares. Yeah, it's so long ago. The guy killed himself and he was innocent. What the hell?
They're probably all sexual blackmailed, like sexually blackmailed. Like every single world leader probably has sexual blackmail.
The pilots were probably. They probably got the pilots that week. They're probably like, well, now you're going to go.
And what sucks the worst, what really makes it feel gross, is how Trump used national disasters as a political tool. When the flooding happened in Texas, instead of just focusing on helping people, he somehow twisted it into a moment to paint people like us, the ones who have been waiting the better half of a decade for the truth about Epstein, as disrespectful.
We have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration.
And there's a growing number of people out there who now think the flooding wasn't just some freak natural disaster, that it was caused by geoengineering. And if that's the case, if there's even a shred of truth to it, that just makes it even sadder. Because now you've got a deadly disaster, possibly created by the same powers that be, and Trump's out here using it as a gaslighting tool. But that didn't stop people from wanting to know about Epstein. Even with the floods, even with all the distraction plays, he was still one of the most searched terms over the weekend. Trump really seems to believe that if the algorithm gets flooded with bigger news, the Epstein talk will just fade away. Wouldn't surprise me at all if something big happens soon. Some headline, some event, anything to push Epstein to the second page, then third, then completely gone.
Free Ghislaine. She has been wrongly imprisoned. She was convicted guilty of something that clearly never happened.
Never happened.
After the FBI's incredible research, shout out to cockeyed Kash Patel. That mother was looking at the documents double time, and he was 100% certain that there was no RICO charge.
No foul play.
No, he's a wow.
But just him.
But only him.
Thousands of girls, just him.
Yeah, the guy was busy.
And that list that they said that they had was a list of one name.
Yeah,
guys, what the hell is going on? We owe a lot of people an apology. Child wrangler, child wrangler Ghislaine Maxwell has been locked up in Maine or Vermont or whatever cush prison she's in for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Does nobody feel bad about this unbelievable injustice? That
Yeah, they're the real victim of this whole thing.
Is Ghislaine. And this guy who killed himself for nothing.
Even flagrant fans are turning on Andrew Schulz after his reaction podcast. Because when he had Trump on, he just sat there, smiled, starstruck, didn't ask him a single thing about the Epstein files, just glazed him the entire interview. Schulz did call out Kash Patel, but even with Kash, it feels like the same story as Bongino. A guy who seemed like he was fighting for truth, offered a coveted position at the top of the career ladder, only to realize he's just a voice now, forced to be a mouthpiece for the same evil he once tried to expose.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know when you see one, and that's what that was.
To me, that's controlled opposition. That's what it looks like. Take the people who pose the biggest threat to your agenda, and instead of fighting them, you offer them a position. You put them close enough to feel important, but boxed in enough that they're no real danger anymore. And just like Bongino, it seems like it's been too much for Kash. According to some news outlets, he was even threatening to resign. But it didn't take long for him to fall in line. By Saturday, he tweeted, "The conspiracy theories just aren't true, never have been. It's an honor to serve the President of the United States, and I'll continue to do so for as long as he calls on me."
Obviously, this whole blackmail ring, that has tied in American presidents, Israeli prime ministers, the royal family. This is all allegedly, obviously. Now that we know that that is completely false, and all these people were just good friends.
Yeah.
They were just like hanging out. Like Bill Gates going to like someone who has already been convicted of just go in his house to talk business is like a normal thing, right? There's no way that this is like some entrenched blackmail scheme, intelligence scheme.
Impossible.
That would be impossible, right? Because, if you're Bill Gates, like you would have so much to lose going to a pedophile's house.
Yeah.
Right?
Why would you do business with that guy?
Exactly. So he must be a big misunderstanding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay.
I don't know why they wouldn't just be like, yo, it's Prince Andrew. Because isn't he already besmirched? Right?
No, but now I think we got to forgive him.
Yeah.
We got to forgive him.
We got
just took a picture. Yeah.
Just took a picture of the girl who accused him of being and then why don't we just ask that girl one more time if that girl if
R.I.P. bro.
Oh, she's dead.
Yeah, she took her.
Probably from lying. That was the guilt of lying about all these people. That's what got her. No. She was obviously, hey, we got to believe these guys. So this woman's a liar. All these women are liars.
Listen.
And,
I feel like we're all in the same boat right now, just frustrated. Not even as much about the files or Trump or Epstein at this point, Just frustrated at having our intelligence insulted over and over again. It's really on us. We're the ones who put faith in a person, like he was ever going to fix things. Deception is the oldest trick in the playbook, and the people in charge are still using it today. Which brings me back to something Trump said during his first campaign. At the time, I thought he was talking about Hillary. Most people did. But now I think he was telling us exactly who he is.
Who has heard the poem called The Snake? Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. I have saved you, cried the woman, and you've bitten me, heavens why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Oh, shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
Theo Vaughn hasn't commented yet on the Epstein files not being released, but I'm sure he will when his next podcast drops. It'll be interesting to hear what he has to say because out of everyone, Theo's always been one of the more outspoken ones when it comes to Epstein and the government in general.
Thankfully, our government is protecting all these people. That's the best thing.
And they killed Epstein just...
Bro, I can't get a pothole filled in New Orleans, but you can fill a 9-year-old out in the middle of the ocean. This whole fucking government,
It's
dude.
crazy.
It's a
crazy.
bunch of sick fucking people, bro.
Yeah, man.
And a lot of it, I just wonder if it's just power. How long, like you were saying, like generations of power. Do you just get so sick that even caring about somebody doesn't even seem like it makes any sense to you anymore?
If you feel like you were duped by all of this, imagine how Theo feels. He was the first comedy podcast to host Trump, and then right after that, J.D. Vance.
Everybody in politics has a vice that's much worse than alcoholism, is the way that I put it. But we
release the list.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing. We can go down that rabbit hole, but anyway.
Vance has been very clear in the past that the Epstein files should be released. But if you watched his second appearance on Theo's podcast, it feels like he's in the same position now as Bongino or Kash Patel. Controlled opposition. Because at one point in time, Vance wasn't a fan of Trump. But on that podcast, it was different. He literally said, my loyalties lie with Trump.
Elon Musk, time to drop the really big bomb, right? And I thought this was going to be on Iran.
So it's funny, I haven't even seen
right?
I haven't even seen this one.
But he goes, at real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. This is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day. Nice signature from a South African DJT.
Man. Well, first of all, absolutely not. Donald Trump didn't do anything wrong with Jeffrey Epstein. The guy is, whatever the Democrats and the media says about him, that's totally BS. Here's my basic read on it. First of all, I'm the vice president to President Trump. My loyalties are always going to be with the president.
It's a bummer to hear him say that his loyalties lie with Trump, because honestly, I think any politician's loyalty should lie with the American people. Not a party, not a president, not a personality. And the reason that matters is because there was once a political party that did some truly awful things, and when they lost the war, when their military leaders went on trial, every single one of them said the same thing. I was just following orders. That line's been used to justify a lot of evil in this world, and when I hear someone say their loyalty lies with a person instead of the people, it feels like we're walking down the same path again, especially when the crimes they allegedly committed are beyond evil.
You can't think they would do something so evil, but what's her name? Madeleine Albright. We always show the clip. Madeleine Albright, Rosicrucian, by the way, had a little rose pin because she was a programmed asset. Remember the interview? Was it worth it to starve 500,000 Iraqi kids? And she goes, I think it was.
She said yes.
So if you would starve 500,000 kids, you think you wouldn't drink a baby in the woods? Of course you would. When you hear a cartel, the horrible things they do, and you hear about they do magic rituals to hide their smuggling. You hear about it all the time on Vice and all the other CIA news things. Or when you hear about Liberia and General butt naked eating baby hearts in front of the parents. You don't blink, you believe that because Africans did it and Mexicans. You think your white leaders don't do all that? You think Hillary wouldn't do that if Mexico would do it?
They've got videotape and all of a sudden they don't. You have the director of the FBI on this show saying there's no tape. If there was, nothing you're looking for is on those tapes. Like, what? Why did they say there was thousands of hours of tapes of people doing horrible shit? Why'd they say that?
Right.
Didn't Pam Bondi say that?
Are you talking about Epstein or Diddy?
Yeah, Epstein.
Yeah, she said it literally, I think, a week before you had the FBI director sitting here telling you there was nothing, right?
She said something about that there was like thousands of hours of tapes of people doing horrible crimes.
There is. And didn't the FBI dude say that there was nothing?
Kash Patel said there's nothing you're looking for. Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, what am I going to do? I'm going to push back.
Right. No, of course. I understand.
Obviously, he's saying what he has to say.
Candace Owens' coverage of Emmanuel Macron's wife doesn't have anything to do with the Epstein case directly, but it does give you some insight into how Trump operates. Because the way that whole situation played out, it showed that if someone important enough asked him to, Trump is willing to cover up the truth.
J. Trump, he is calling me, and in true President Trump fashion, he jumps right into the narrative. And the topic of conversation, no matter which way you want to slice it, it's about Macron's wife's. I mean, there's no other way to say it, right? Anyways, I have Macron. I like Macron. We're speaking. I'm walking him to his car. Mr. President, do you know Candace Owens? And I say, yes, of course I know Candace Owens. What's going on? And then the president says to me, you must be a very powerful person, Candace. We're talking about the president of France taking me aside to talk about your podcast. Emmanuel Macron is requesting to his face that I stop speaking about his wife. And then he said, I saw her close. She looks like a woman to me. I had dinner with her at the top of the Eiffel Tower. And I said to Trump, and I will be honest, that at that moment I realized that one day this is going to go into my autobiography. So I got to say something funny. I said to him, respectfully, Mr. President, it's not my fault that he married someone with a.
That's all I got.